You've been lied to by every man you've ever met, every man you've ever dated, every man you've ever fallen in love with or trusted with your heart. No matter how old you are, no matter how lucky or unlucky you've been in love, men you loved or still love, men you adored, men you trusted with everything, have looked you in your eyes, smiled at you, and lied to you about everything, about what he wants, about how he feels about you, about what he's thinking, what he desires. And if you're like most women, it's driven you crazy. It's kept you up at night. It's pushed you to tears as you wonder, why? Why can't he just tell you the truth? Why can't he just love you? Why can't he just be that man you've wanted for so long, that lover, that friend who you've dreamed of, who you finally deserve? Now, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to show you the truth no man would ever tell you. The real reason you've failed with men again and again and are going to keep failing unless you listen to what I have to say right now. My name is Michael Fiore. I've been on The Rachel Ray Show, Man Cow Radio, NBC TV, Fox TV, more blogs than I can count, more radio shows than are sane. I'm a nationally known relationship expert who's helped tens of thousands of men and women connect, communicate, seduce, and heal. But more than that, I'm a man. I'm a guy. And if you really want to understand men, the dirty truth, what really goes on in our minds, what we lust after, what we dream about, why we lie to women, even when we love them, especially when we love them, then what I'm going to say in this controversial video is going to change your life forever, change your relationship with men forever, open your eyes for good and give you an amazing, almost dangerous power over men. Listen, you already know what it feels like, that anger you get in the pit of your stomach, that nauseous feeling that tells you you've been lied to by a man again, manipulated, used. Like I've said before, the only way to win the love game is to go places men won't let you, places he couldn't let you, even if he wanted to. But if you don't act fast, if you don't act now, you're going to miss your chance forever. A chance to truly understand men, to be that irresistible woman who actually gets him, who he's magnetically drawn to. In fact, right now as you watch this, you've got everything you need to become any man's dream woman. Just by waking up to the truth of your man, taking a deep breath, and doing what I tell you to do in the next few minutes, you'll gain an almost magical ability to see the truth in the mind of any man you want. A way to turn almost any man into an open book who's about as confusing as a third-grade math problem, and who opens up to you whenever you want, even if he's locked up like Fort Knox now. I'll tell you exactly what to do in a minute. But first, I need to tell you the weird story that got me here in the first place. It started so innocently, with an email that changed everything. I couldn't believe it when the responses started coming in. Hundreds of emails, thousands. Women I'd never talked to, women I'd never met, pouring out their hearts on their keyboards and begging for help. Angry, frustrated men, desperately trying to share what they really wanted, wondering why no woman could ever seem to understand him. It's weird for me to say, but thanks to all the media attention I've gotten, I'm a little bit famous when it comes to helping people with their relationships. And one day I decided to send 2 different one-question surveys to my email lists of men and women. What did I ask? I asked the women, if you had telepathy and could read any man's mind, what's the one thing you would desperately want to know? To the guys I asked, what's the one thing you desperately wish women understood about men but could never tell her? I sent the survey at 8 a.m. By 10, I had hundreds of responses. What women told me broke my heart into pieces. Strong, beautiful women, women I interact with on my Facebook wall all the time, pouring their hearts out, gnashing their teeth, and desperately yearning to know, what does he think about me? Why does he look at other women? Why do men lie? Would he cheat on me? Is he cheating on me now? Will he love me forever? Why doesn't he talk to me? Why does he get so quiet? Does he really love me? How do I make him love me? And hundreds more. So many women, so many amazing women who felt angry, locked out, and betrayed by men, who talked about their shattered relationships, their desperate search for love, the loneliness in their hearts, the disappointment and betrayal they felt that the guys in their lives just weren't living up to their expectations, the romance lie they'd fallen for as kids that had plagued them all through their adult lives. The responses from women devastated me. But what I heard from men didn't just make me sad, it made me angry. Forced me to reveal the truth about what really goes on in men's minds and opened a door that will change your life forever. I asked 21,412 men, what's the one thing you desperately wish women understood about men but could never tell her? I didn't expect much of a response. After all, guys are notoriously shy when it comes to talking about emotional stuff. But thousands of guys opened up and replied. Maybe there was something in the air that day. Maybe it's that they were anonymous. Maybe it's that they were talking guy to guy. But these weren't clipped answers, wise-ass comments, or jokes. I mean, there was some of that, sure. But there was also the stuff guys had always agreed to never tell women. Men, guys, thousands of guys opening up about what really goes on in our minds and in our hearts, telling the truth no woman had ever heard. Right there on my computer screen, thousands of men revealed what they truly wanted from women, what hurt them about women, and how women often emotionally devastate men without even knowing, without even trying, why they lied to women, and why they felt like they had to lie to women, what they really wanted in bed, their deepest and dirtiest sexual fantasies they would never tell to any woman in any circumstances, and much, much more. It was like seeing directly into their minds and hearts, a pure source of the truth about men, answers to the questions women have been desperate to understand. After reading through all the material, I felt like I'd stumbled upon the atomic bomb in the battle of the sexes. If women got a hold of this information and really understood it, if women really understood what men thought about and talked about when they were alone, if women really got what it was like to be a guy, why guys act the way they do, what guys really want, it could change everything. Teaching this stuff would be like giving women superpowers, washing away decades or even centuries of backbiting and fights and anger, stopping stupid arguments in their tracks, and arming women with the information they need to finally have the amazing, powerful, loving relationships they've always wanted. Sitting there looking at my secret survey results, I knew I had a very important choice to make. I could do what I'm supposed to do as a guy, what every other guy has done your entire life. I could bury the truth, smile and nod whenever women ask me questions, feed women the patronizing party line about guys thinking about nothing. Or I could invite women to know the truth about men, what we really think about, what we really want, why we lie, why we look at other women, what we talk about when you're not around. Eventually, I realized there wasn't any choice to make at all. I knew I needed to share these survey results. I knew I needed to give them away to any woman brave enough to listen and smart enough to accept them. But that led me to a whole other problem. I knew that just giving this material away without telling you how to use it would be like giving a hand grenade to a baby and telling her to go out and play. The survey results I had, the stories, the questions, the comments, were dirty and raw and brutal. When talking about how they feel, most guys are downright dumb and just didn't have the language to really explain what they meant or why they acted the way they did. If I just gave this stuff to women on its own, I'd be doing more harm than good. I'd scare women away. So over the next few weeks, I got to work like a man possessed. I took every detail about what I knew about men, how we think, what we want, why we lie and cheat, why monogamy is so hard, what we really want in bed but could never say. I took all of the deep questions women had asked me about how men really feel about women, why men are so bad at communicating, why men bottle up their feelings and never share. I took everything men desperately want women to understand and accept about men, our deep, dirty desires, our hopes and fears and wants and needs, and I wore my fingers to the bone, creating a step-by-step training program out of it. 8 deep, powerful, and brutally honest lessons presented in written form, audio, and video that answered the big questions women have been wanting to know for years about what really goes on in men's minds. Plus all the dirty, secret material men are desperate to reveal to women and to have women understand, but are absolutely petrified to ever say out loud. All combined into an exclusive training program I proudly call The Secret Survey, What Men Desperately Want You to Know, but will never tell you. When it was done, I revealed this program to a very small, select group of my best friends and best customers. Jennifer said, "Mike, I went through the material twice. It's fabulous. It was tough to read the first time, but the second read-through I was in a better frame of mind to accept what you were telling me, and it makes total sense." Mary said, "If I'd received this material years ago, it would have saved my marriage, kept me from years of heartache, helped me avoid dating bad guys, and would have helped me find the one years earlier than I did." And Becca said, "I loved this. There is some amazing information here that is invaluable to the female gender." And the men I showed this program were shocked, aghast, a little bit angry, but most of all, hopeful. Hopeful that thanks to this program, women would finally truly understand what it's really like to be a guy. Flat out, here's my promise to you. If you can log into a website and put aside your pride, you can learn the honest, dirty truth about what goes on in the minds of men and transform your relationship with guys forever in just 30 short days. Here's what you'll discover when you enroll in the Secret Survey program. You'll learn why men are like dogs and you're a bad owner, how to interpret man-speak, the real reason men are so hard to understand. Plus, I'll teach you how to use projective empathy to know exactly what's going on in a man's head, even if he barely knows what he's thinking himself. Next, you'll learn why men lie to women they love. I'll teach you the 3 reasons men lie to women and the simple conversational tricks you can use to cause any man to open up to you in 5 minutes flat, even if he's been locked up like Fort Knox for years. Ever wonder why the man in your life just doesn't compliment you or pursue you anymore? I'll show you how you may have accidentally emotionally castrated your man and how to create a basis of incredible truth, honesty, and communication in any relationship you get into. The biggest question women asked in the survey was, does he really love me? You'll learn the straight and honest truth about how men really feel about the women in their lives and what he actually says about you when you're not around. Now, this material is not for the faint of heart, but will open your eyes forever to the emotional truth of men. Next, you'll learn why he looks at other women, what it says about you, and how he feels about you when he looks at and lusts after other women, even your friends. Plus, you'll learn how to drag a wandering eye back to you with the power of an irresistible electromagnet. You'll also learn the truth about men and cheating. Why men cheat on women they truly do love, what goes on in men's minds when they cheat, what it means about how he feels about you when he cheats, and exactly what to do to cheat-proof your relationship and keep your man faithful and focused on you without destroying the trust your relationship needs to survive. In the Reflected Glory lesson, I'll give you a guided tour through a man's mind and tell you what he really thinks about when he looks at you and what your appearance means to him. Does he want you to be skinny like a supermodel? Does he care that you've gained a few pounds? Using the survey results, I'll give you the absolute truth to every question and insecurity you've ever had about your appearance. And finally, we'll talk about sex. What men really want in bed, why most men would never admit their deepest fantasies to a woman, and how to have your man sexually obsessed with you, willing to try anything you want, and thinking of you as his pin-up fantasy girl, even if you're overweight or don't like your body now. And those are just the main points of the program. You'll also learn the power of feminine vulnerability and how to use emotional judo techniques to massively multiply his emotional desire for you. Just learning this one trick could keep you and the man in your life from ever fighting again. You'll learn why trying to make your man happy can kill your relationship. Emotional flooding, why men are petrified of women's emotions, and how to create a safe harbor where he can open up even if he acts like a Vulcan now. How to banish insecurity from your relationship forever and feel 100% loved, adored, and taken care of by your man. How to seduce a man in shockingly little time. How men decide if you're girlfriend material or just someone they want to sleep with. How to get a man to chase you again, even if you've been together for years and years. And much, much more than I can list out in this video. Here's the flat-out truth about what's going to happen when you grab this program. When you go through this program, listen to what it says, study the survey results, and do the simple exercises I give you, you'll know more about how men think and why we act the way we do than any woman in 1,000. You'll know the secrets guys have desperately kept to themselves. You'll understand what's really going on in his head and his heart, even when he has no idea why he's acting the way he does or why it's so hard for him to be there for you. Listen, if you're a woman who really wants to be adored by men, then this has already changed everything for you. If you walk away now, you'll always wonder what you don't know. But you know what? You need to be ready for what it's going to be like when men just aren't a mystery anymore. When you suddenly understand exactly what he's thinking, what it's like to be a guy. When all those problems you have in your relationship that come from butting your head up against his just seem to fade away. When he looks at you with shock in his eyes, wondering who this amazing woman is and how she appeared in his life out of nowhere seemingly overnight. If you're like most women, when it first happens, you'll be in shock. You'll feel this amazing confidence pulsing through your whole body. You'll have men pursuing you like the hunters they are, subconsciously realizing you're one woman in a million, the most desirable girl on the block, a woman who gets men on a deep and primal level. Just imagine this for a minute. All that anxiety fading away. No more wondering why he doesn't call or why he said the hurtful words he said. Feeling those tears and anger and frustration and doubt just fade away. Sleeping like a baby every night, wrapped in the arms of a man who utterly adores you, who loves you for you, who never wants you to change. Would you want that? Would that feel pretty good? You bet it would. And here's the really cool part. Just go through the 8 secret survey lessons and do what they say, and you'll have the secret password to men's minds. Every mystery of how men think laid out in detail and finally explained. No months and months of therapy, no arguments, no begging and pleading for him to open up, no wondering what he really thinks about you, if he wants you, if he loves you, if he'll be yours forever. In fact, here's what I want you to do. Just go through the first lesson. Really absorb it and take the time to understand what it says. And when you're done, call up an old friend, a guy. Not a guy you're in a relationship with or you want to date, just a guy. Grab a drink or go for a walk. Talk. And let yourself notice that feeling you get in your chest just from that little bit of knowledge you gained in lesson 1. That confidence that spreads through you, that knowledge that you know. You know what he really wants. You know what he really needs. You know what he's really feeling. Let me ask you a question. How much is it worth to you to feel like you've got magic powers? To suddenly see into the minds of men, to make any man happy, to be adored by any man you want? If this survey and this training helped you find that one guy you've been looking for so long, or if, just by going through this training, you could repair the massive rift you might be feeling with your husband or your boyfriend now, if you could stop the fights, stop the anger, stop the frustration, and just love each other, how much would that be worth? I mean, think about some of the other stuff you spend money on. The clothes he ignores, the nights out. Ask yourself, would it be worth even just $10 a day to have the relationship of your dreams? If a genie came out of a bottle and said, it will cost you $3,650, but I'll give you the relationship of your dreams for 1 full year. Is that a deal you would want to take? Because if this program doesn't open your eyes and radically change the way you think about and look at men forever, it's probably because you secretly like to fight. You secretly like to be hurt. You secretly like to be miserable, and you'd rather be right than be happy. I really hope that's not true. The possibilities, once you really absorb this, are endless because there's nobody else out there who's willing to share this stuff with you or could share it with you in the first place. But please, for your sake and mine, don't even think about enrolling in the Secret Survey program and learning the dirty, uncensored truth about men unless you can cross your heart and promise me 2 things. 1, you can put your ego aside and really accept the truth I give you, no matter how hard it is and no matter how different it is than the half-truths and flat-out lies you've been told by women's magazines and experts. If you aren't ready to know the real truth about men, this isn't for you. 2, you'll only use this information to have great relationships with men, not to manipulate them or take advantage of them. Okay, if you've really thought about this and are willing to take a leap, it's time to get down to brass tacks. Why doesn't this program cost $2,000 or more? I mean, when you think about it, understanding men is probably the biggest thing holding you back from having the life and the love you've always wanted. And if you really study the Secret Survey results, what men said when they knew they could be anonymous and they knew you weren't looking, you'll feel like you have X-ray vision into any man's mind. I could easily take this material, turn it into an exclusive weekend seminar, and charge $2,000 a seat or more. And I know enough women who crave this material are out there that we'd sell out in minutes. But you know what? This really isn't about money for me. Don't get me wrong, I like getting paid for my work, but this is really about helping as many women as I can, about helping you have great relationships and the happiness and the love and passion you deserve. I hope you can hear from my voice how passionate I am about this and how much I want this for you. So I'm not going to ask you to invest $2,000 in this training, even though I know it's worth at least that. It won't cost you $1,000. Heck, it won't even cost you $497, even though my PR lady insists that's the absolute least I should offer this training for because it's so valuable. Nope, I decided I'm going to do something maybe a little bit foolish. I'm going to set the price of The Secret Survey, what men desperately want you to know but could never tell you, at just $147. But as long as this video is up, I could take it down at any time, I'll let you have the complete program for just $67 today. But I'm only guaranteeing this low enrollment cost to you if you hit the Add to Cart button below right now. In fact, don't be surprised, and please don't send me an angry email if you leave this page and come back later to see that I've doubled the price. And just to make this a real no-brainer, when you act today, you'll get not one but 3 additional trainings 100% free. First, you'll get Unstoppable Confidence with Michael Griswold. Over 90 minutes of deep conversation and training teaching you how to have unstoppable confidence with men and how to use feminine vulnerability to wrap any man you want around your finger. Second, you'll get The Insecurity Cure with Eric Kandel. Exactly why you're racked by insecurity in your relationships and how to create a calm sea in your heart where you never feel anxiety at all. And third, you'll receive Sex Lies Exposed with Devian Day. Devastating lies about sex that are killing your relationships with men, and the simple truth that will let you have the passion, love, and desire you've been craving in shockingly little time. And you'll get the full, unedited survey results, so you can see what men really say and what men really want when you aren't around. I had to think long and hard about doing this. When men answered this survey, they thought they were only speaking guy to guy, which means this is truly raw, unedited material right from the mouths of men, the way guys speak and what we talk about when we think women aren't around. But because I'm so invested in making sure you have fantastic relationships with men from now on, and because you've promised to only use this information for good, I'm willing to let you have the actual survey results as long as you promise you won't share them with anyone else. I don't want to overstate this, but this could really be your only chance to truly get men. Your last chance to understand what's going on in his mind. Your last chance to get him to truly open up. Your last chance to create true, uncompromising love. It's sad, but with the hundreds of emails I get every day, I can tell you so many women sabotage their own happiness. They bend over backwards for men who don't deserve it. They spend their days wishing and wanting, completely blind to the incredible love available right in front of them. Right now, there are women who are going to get this survey, go through this training, and feel like a nuclear bomb of insight went off in their mind. And you've got a chance right now to be one of them if you just click the Add to Cart button below. Oh, and just to show you how serious I am, and to make this as easy for you as possible, here's why you 100% can't lose. Michael Fiore's risk-free, no BS, 100% money-back guarantee. Here's how this works, and here's all you have to do. Just say maybe to the secret survey, what men desperately want you to know, but will never tell you. Take a deep breath and go through the program. If you've ever logged into Facebook, you know everything you need to know to access the training. There's nothing technical about it at all. Dig through the program material. Watch the videos. Listen to the audios. Do the simple but revelatory exercises. Use your new insight into men. If for any reason at all you decide this training isn't for you, just let me know and I'll give you your tiny enrollment fee back. No fine print, no BS, no wiggle room. Just let me or my staff know anytime in the next 8 weeks and you'll get your money back. You'll lose access to the program and survey results, and I'll open up a spot for another woman to enroll in the training. And all you have to do to get started is click the Add to Cart button below. Simply click the Add to Cart button below, enter your credit card information on the next page, and you'll have access to the training and will be able to get started just a few short minutes from now. It's decision time, one of the most important decisions of your life. Right now as you're watching this, you're at a crossroads that could change everything in your life. And when you think about it, you've really just got 2 options. Option 1 is to leave this page. Close this video, get up from your computer, try to forget everything I just told you. Try to ignore that nagging feeling in the back of your mind, that crazy desire to know. to experience for yourself the truth about men, what they really want, what they really think about you. Go back to bickering, getting angry, feeling unappreciated, grating on the man you have, or wondering why you can't find that one guy who will truly love you the way he's supposed to. And ignore that sinking, nauseous feeling in your stomach that you're alone, unconnected. Or you could go with option 2. You can be one of the smart women who understand something amazing when they see it, who get to tear through these secret survey results, who feel all that anxiety fade away, who really understand men. Do you want to keep fighting with the men in your life, or do you want to win? Winning doesn't mean proving him wrong. If you're even having an argument, it means you've both lost. Nope. Winning means being happy, connected, having the romance you've always wanted, the connection you crave. To grab your spot in the secret survey, what men desperately want you to know but could never tell you program, all you have to do is click the Add to Cart button below. You'll gain instant access to the first module of this astonishing training, the complete survey results, and the 3 bonus training programs, and will know more about men than they know about themselves. But only if you risk nothing and click the button below now and grab this training while you can. I can't wait to hear about your success. Thank you, I'm Michael Fiore.